What's going on, guys? It's Greeny here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be looking at my top NFT plays across several different blockchains for the rest of 2024 and into 2025. If you like my content, please subscribe down below. Smash the like button on this video so you can support me as a content creator. I recently added a membership to my YouTube. You can check out those details by clicking the join button as it shows you here on the screen and check out those details for my membership. I've also just recently opened my alpha group again on Discord. If you want to check out those details, you can click the link in the description below or head to my link tree on Twitter and check out those details as well. Here's my top NFT plays for 2024. Alright guys, as always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I do this for educational purposes only. So we're going to start with different blockchains, okay, and what I think NFT collections are probably going to have the best returns in the next year or the next year and a half, okay? So I'm going to start with the Pudgy ecosystem. Obviously, they've taken on this huge narrative since about mid last year. They've been absolutely on a tear. They've moved up from around 4 ETH from around mid-year last year to 20 ETH just the couple days ago, and as you can see here, they're currently resting at 19.5 ETH. Now, obviously, we all know who Luca is. He's a famous entrepreneur worldwide, has sold lots of businesses in the past for a lot of money, and obviously acquired the Pudgy Penguins last year. He's building a lot with the brand, the IP of the side of that type of NFTs, but he's also doing more than that. Obviously, we've got the potential of airdrops coming up for Pudgies. They have obviously seen recent airdrops in other forms, so they had the DIM airdrop, and other airdrops are certainly hyped, so that's why I'd be keeping an eye on Pudgy Penguins. Now, obviously, a lot of people are priced out. I'm priced out of something like this. So for me, I'd be looking at the swing trades around little Pudgies. And if you can look here, they dipped to 1.4 just the other day and then rode up to about 2.2. So that's an easy swing trade of nearly a whole ETH, which is around $2.5 thousand at the moment, guys. So the Pudgy ecosystem is by far probably my strongest conviction in Ethereum NFTs. Now we'll move into a bit more speculation, okay, around potential builders that I've been diving deep into over the past couple of weeks. So if we have a look here, guys, Doodles is certainly one, okay. The brand of and the art of Doodles cannot be argued. Okay, it's one of the most recognizable PFPs in the Web3 space. So I do think Doodles is a great sort of medium to long-term hold. Obviously, they've gone up quite nicely over the past couple of months, okay? As you can see here, they were around 2 ETH not long ago. They've moved up to 2.5 ETH, and then obviously Pranksy's fund, they acquired quite a few Doodles recently, and that's why they pumped up to 3.5 ETH. So we are starting to see them come back down. I think Doodles are a great IP play, but also they've got the incubator. They're building in different ways as well. So that's definitely one I've got on my watch list as well. Creeps is another one, okay? It's actually, its community is super genuine, but its project is so intricate. And now I spent a few days learning about that. There's so much alpha in so many different ways. They also have the potential of the Portal airdrop, which is coming soon, which you saw on your X timelines for quite a while earlier in 2023. So I would be, and I do have exposure to Creeps, so I would be keeping an eye here on Creeps and what's happening there, okay? They have staking for skill points, but they also have these things called runes as well. So there's a lot to the ecosystem that I like about Creeps, and it's one that I have obviously in my bags, but one that I do think could outperform a lot of other collections moving into 2024. All right, guys, so Killer Bears, this is one I don't have exposure to. As you can see here, a lot of big buys have been stepping in the past month. We've had 2 big wall buys all the way, sending it back to 1.73. We have really low listings, but again, it's a really cool community, okay? They're pretty prevalent on Twitter, which is what you want to be seeing, but it's also the project and what they're actually building, okay? They're moving their Killer Bits and a game onto the Solana blockchain, so that's super innovative, but also if you hold a Killer Bear, I'm sure there's other sort of rewards that you can have moving forward into 2024. So that's definitely one that I've got on my watch list at the moment. Another one is the Captain's ecosystem. Now, again, if I have 4 ETH, I probably would say I'll be placing my bets in other ways. But again, I'd be keeping an eye on the memecoin space. Obviously, the founder has such a 9gag. He's a huge reputable person in the world, okay, for Web 2, but also Web 3 now. And I think memecoin's definitely one that you want to keep on your radar. And the Captain's ecosystem, moving forward, they are having a change of art. So that's what I'd be looking at there. All right. Kangpie Pandas, okay, they've also had some transition to Sol, so that's super bullish, but obviously Icebags is the creator, sort of the founder in that capacity. He's also really cool in the space, okay? He has a big sort of WWE sort of wrestling background. He translates that into Web3, runs some podcasts and that type of stuff. So this is definitely one, again, on my watch list. I don't have exposure to, but I am looking at it very closely. Now, Azuki had that speculation around a potential token earlier this year, but again, it's kind of fading me at the moment. And again, if I had 6.5 ETH, I probably probably would be placing my bets elsewhere, okay? And that's the same for Yuga. I'm not touching Yuga at all in 2024. All right, guys, the last one I want to speak about in Ethereum is obviously Utes and DGODs. Now, obviously, Utes is the cheaper option, so that's why I put it up here. But as you can see here, again, there was speculation that it might receive Portal Coin or other coins in potential airdrops coming up. So definitely, it's frank. Maybe if they keep building in particular ways, we might see some potential gains there as well. But again, the art's very clean. It's a super cool PFP. You do still see them on the timeline, but again, I think it's probably lesser on the conviction side compared to those other ones that I spoke to you earlier about Ethereum. All right, let's move to Solana. Okay, now Solana obviously has some more degenerate sort of players. You mint and flip things a lot. You can swing trade a lot of things, but these are the four collections that I probably am the most bullish on the Solana blockchain. So Mad Lads is definitely number one. Okay, what they're building in the space is unbelievable. Okay, their community is so strong. They're the top holders. The top one of the top collections that are kind of affordable that can be traded every single day on the Solana blockchain. They have come down quite a lot since they were about 240 Sol a couple of months back, but I do think conviction plays out longer term. Their listings have been coming down for a very long time. They have a super strong community. They reward you with badges. You get staking as well. You have pretty much access to so many different airdrops on Solana. Now, obviously, DIM, which was on Ethereum and other networks as well. So again, Mad Lads is by far probably my strongest NFT conviction in 2024. The next one is obviously Claynosaurus, guys. Again, it's sort of that animation. They have a lot of connections in the Disney space. They have exposure to top animators in the world. They worked on huge projects in Disney, huge projects on Game of Thrones, for example. Okay, so again, this is probably a really longer term sort of play, but I do think Claynosaurus is one that we could see in the IP world sort of move up into 2024 and into 2025. But Doggos, obviously, the Nifty Portal are a huge brand, okay, in the media space. They've been doing work for several years. They're probably the top podcast. They're the top media in Web3 that you see every single day working. And I love the Doggos. I've been a community member since mint day, but I do think they are reaching a really nice sort of value point to reward you moving into 2024 and into 2025. Again, they have all these Bones ecosystem where you can get obviously merch. They've obviously have rewards for free NFTs and that sort of thing before as well. But I do think these boys, they know what they're doing. They know how to build that hype around potential sort of plays moving into 2024. So this is one that I definitely still would like to maybe pick up a few more as we start to dip. All right, Parcel, this is the last one that I've been wanting to talk to you about on Solana. It's one that we've been trading up since about 3 Sol. They have an airdrop. So if you, again, can find those sort of narratives that underpin what that collection's doing. So if they have airdrop potential, if they have some unique sort of business like model like the Mad Lads, okay, then these are the sort of NFTs that you want to be picking up on these different blockchains. And Parcel is certainly one. They have that real world application, real estate sort of narrative as well, sort of kicking in that space, and they obviously have this potential airdrop of a token which is coming up, so that's why they've rallied about 6x since we first got in. All right, let's move to Bitcoin. Okay, I'm going to start with my puppets. I have 2 puppets at the moment. Again, the community is so authentic. I've spoken about this on my 2 past streams, and again tomorrow as well. Be tuned in with Craig. But those are 2 the community is so strong. Okay, it's more than that too. It's the cultural play on Bitcoin, in my opinion. Okay, they have really low listings. They have a high amount of owners, which is great to see. Their analytics are beautiful. Their chart is moving up really authentically as well. It was a fair launch. It wasn't just shilled to influencers, all that type of stuff, guys. It's obviously on Bitcoin, so that also is potential Bitcoin exposure, which I have less of. So I wanted exposure there. So that's why I headed over to the Bitcoin puppets. Now, obviously, they've had a lot of degen sort of mints that you got access to because you were a Bitcoin puppet holder. So there's a lot happening in that space, which I'm super bullish on. Oh, and babes, there's no doubt that this is still probably the top collection on Bitcoin at the moment. But again, a lot of people are priced out. It's at 0.7, so that's reaching like 30 to 40,000 sort of US dollars right now. So again, this art is like iconic, guys. So I do think that this one definitely plays out longer term. I'm very curious to see how the Wizards come in and how these sort of 2 maybe play it out for that top number 1 spot on Bitcoin. But OMB is definitely one I think will outperform continuing into 2024 and into 2025. Quantum Cats is obviously the Taproot second collection. Obviously, we've seen it come out. It's sitting around that 0.25. It went all the way down to around that sort of 0.16, 0.15 level. Again, it's probably one that I'd be keeping my eye on. If I was an investor, if I had the Bitcoin, I would probably be waiting for the Wizards, which could come out at 1 Bitcoin or higher. But again, keep an eye on the Cats because they are the second collection. They're the little pudgies to the pudgies. So I would be keeping an eye on that. Next one, guys, is obviously No Monkeys. Obviously, we saw this come out. It went all the way down to 0.05 BTC and then all the way up to nearly 0.3 BTC. So we saw a big 6x there. But again, I'm keeping an eye on this. For me, again, you can have 2 puppets for the price of 1 node monkey. I think the upside, the community around the puppets is just a bit better for me in terms of node monkeys, but I do see a lot of node monkeys on the timeline. They do also get exposure to the airdrops and the potential in different ways on the Bitcoin blockchain. So do check it out because I do think it could still perform really well moving into 2024. Bitcoin frogs, I did buy one. I did flip it for a loss, okay, because I just wasn't seeing the sort of culture or the backing from the community. So I did take a divot into the puppets compared to having a Bitcoin frog, but this is one that I'm keeping an eye on. I think if they dip under 0.1 BTC, I think that is actually a really good accumulation point moving into 2024. Lastly, Pizza Ninjas, obviously they have the Ninja Alerts platform. It can be super buggy, but it can be super insightful as well if you want to track some wallets across different blockchains, etc. But again, if this community, which I do see is quite strong in the Bitcoin space, but if they can build the brand, but also build sort of what the underlying business model is, and that's obviously the Ninja Alerts, then we could see this sort of run up moving into 2024. All right, guys, we're going to move into the last couple, which is on Say. Okay, we have 2 collections that I'm really checking out, and they are sort of the OG / the most premier collections on Say. And again, that's kind of the narrative for me this cycle is you want to be in those top collections on the different blockchains so you have exposure that way. So WeBump, they get exposure to a lot of different Say degen mints, airdrops, so many different things. And again, you're super early on, Say, in my opinion, on the blockchain. They see a lot of volume, but they also don't see as much volume as the other blockchains like Solana, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. But WeBump is certainly one that I've got my eye on. Okay, I've been watching this run up to 3,000, Say. It's now back at 1,500, Say, so I would be keeping an eye on that. As you can see here, only 83 are listed, so it's a super cool collection. It's only owned by about 3,000 people, so that's super bullish. It's a 4.4K collection, so I would like to see this maybe move up in time as we move into 2024 and as Say starts to get more adoption on its blockchain. The Colony is obviously the OG collection as well, guys. It sees a lot of exposure and other airdrops and other potentials with degen mints as well, but WeBump is the premier one in my opinion on the Say blockchain. But again, super bullish over here. It only has 200 listed at 5.5K, has a really high owner count as well. So these are the 2 that I would be keeping an eye on the Say blockchain. Now lastly, guys, I want to speak about the airdrops and the potential of the marketplaces. So obviously we've had recently that Magic Eden has their reward system, so you can get loyalty by using their platform, by farming the diamonds, okay, claiming those diamonds and really building your sort of marketplace use up. So that's Magic Eden. I've been using Sniper, okay, you get points by farming the Sniper, points by buying and selling and trading NFTs on their platform. But again, that's the Solana one that I'm looking at compared to Magic Eden, because a lot of OGs got the Magic Eden diamonds because they've been using it since 2021. And then lastly, guys, Blur. I think Blur is still super underrated. So many people aren't farming Blur at the moment, and I think it's going to be one of the biggest airdrops of 2024, and I think a lot of people are still fading it. So again, a lot of liquidity is going to come out of Blast in the next couple of weeks. I would see that maybe translate into the Blur, not only the token, but also potentially the platform, and see that hopefully some Ethereum NFTs do take off. But for me, it's definitely an airdrop that I am actively farming for May 2024. So there you have it, guys. There's my top NFT plays for 2024. If you like my content, please subscribe down below, smash the like button to support me as a content creator, and check out those membership details by clicking the join button at the top of the channel. Also, as I did say at the start of this video, I have opened my alpha group, so if you want to check those details out, the link is in the description below, or it's on my Twitter using my link tree. As always, guys, take care, and I'll see you again soon.